Hi everyone. So this is Mills here from Leaders of the Heart. Oh, hold on. Okay, so I'm doing a little test today. So I'm live on Facebook and I'm live on Instagram. So I haven't done this before, but I'm trying to work a bit more savvy and that's at the right angle. I'm trying to work a bit more savvy basically, and two lives for one. I thought, why not? I've seen people doing that on Instagram, so I thought I'd give it a go. So if you can hear me, please just say hello in the comments. I'd love to know who's here and who can hear me. I'm going to bob this down here and hope that that works. Okay, so yeah, please do say hello if you're online, if you can hear me. It'd be great to see who's here. And the title of today's video and the focus for this week is about where fear is holding you back. Now, we've all experienced fear in our lives. Sometimes it's bigger than others, and sometimes it can get in the way. And the problem with fear is that although it feels very real to us, often, of course, if your life is in danger, it's a very different thing. But if it's fear around doing something that is important to you, then we can start to tell ourselves stories that aren't necessarily true, which can hold us back from realizing our full potential. And my passion in life is helping people, women especially, to realize their full potential. I do this in my coaching work in Leaders of the Heart, and I also do it part of my role at the university, helping students realize their full potential too. So I want this for you. I want you to be all that you are in the world and to bring all of your gifts to the world and to not be held back by old stories that you might have acquired from different places growing up, which maybe are just getting in the way of you really living that true essence of who you are and bringing all of your magical gifts to the world. So one story that is very common is the story of not being good enough. Another story, well, there's thousands of stories. I'll tell you something from my own life. So I always had an old story that I wasn't very clever. Even when I did my PhD and I became a doctor, an academic doctor, I was still telling myself that I wasn't clever. And a good friend of mine who also did a PhD said to me, I think the only reason I did a PhD was to prove to myself that I'm not thick. And I laughed and said, oh yeah, I think that might have been the case for me too. To which she said, yeah, but it didn't work. And I was like, oh God, same for me. Now this is like, God, more than 10 years ago, years and years before I started doing self-development work and working on myself. And I realized that actually we can never change that story inside of ourselves by external things. So if you're feeling like you're not very beautiful, you hate what you look like, and you ask others, do I look nice? Do I look beautiful? Do I look good to you? As much as they tell you yes, it's not going to get inside your heart. It's not going to get inside your blood because it's coming from an external source. It was exactly the same when I did the PhD, trying to prove to myself that I wasn't thick, trying to prove to the world. I mean, I also enjoyed what I studied, but it didn't help me deal with that old story that actually I'm thick and I can't do things. It's not until we show up and we do that internal work that we can be free from those old fears. So today I want you to think about what old stories you've got going around your head that are holding you back and stopping you from realizing your full potential. What I recommend you do is get a notepad, and write on one side of a paper all of the old stories. You could write at the top, old story, and just write them all. They're probably one-liners like, you're thick, you're stupid, you're never going to get that job, you're never going to get that pay rise, no one's ever going to love you, you're never going to have children, you're never going to be slim, whatever it is for you, just write them all down. Don't judge them, just write them all down. And then on the other side of the paper, I want you to write the opposite story. Okay, even if when you write it, it doesn't feel true to you, it doesn't matter. Just write it out. Okay, and then I want you to spend some time just reading your new story and almost like imagine those words just starting to sink into your heart. Just allow them to kind of come into your body. And I bet you will start to notice a better feeling than when you wrote out the bad words. So when you've finished writing out those old stories or the bad words, whatever you want to call it, don't judge them. I'm wrong to say that they're bad. They're not bad. They're a part of you. And what we don't want to do is say, oh, these are really bad and we need to get rid of them and we hate them and it's all horrible. You know, you can also write these old stories with love. There's always something to be thankful for in the old stories. They somehow kept us safe. They've kept us, you know, doing all sorts of things that we may not have otherwise done. But often those old stories can hold us back. And if you resonate with that and it's time for you to change that story, then you can do this tool. Very simple. Just turn over the page and then just write out your new story and really feel into that better feeling of the new story. So I'd love to hear what comes up for you. I would love it if you would share some of your new stories. Like it could be, I'm a creative, powerful, intelligent woman. I am a beautiful lady who knows my own mind. I'm a fertile woman who is capable of bringing up children, and so on. So do share in the comments some positive, more empowering stories that you have for yourself. And I can't wait to see what's next for you. All blessings for now. Namaste.